Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Fatma Tells podcast, where I talk about the science of positive psychology and how to bring it to life. In this episode, we will talk about motivation versus discipline. Most of us think that motivation is the thing that gets us moving, but I would like to turn that thought around and make you think of it in another way. Believe it or not, discipline comes first, then motivation follows. Let me explain. Motivation is something momentary, it is a feeling, and in order for us to get that feeling going, we need to first act. So, if you don't feel motivated because you feel like you have lost your spark, then all you need to do is look for a new hobby, start a new project, and then you'll see how motivation will come right back. If you don't feel motivated because you have not been sleeping well, then fix your sleeping schedule and look at how energized you will start to feel again. So stick to your plan. Now you are disciplined. And the more disciplined that you are, the more motivated that you will be. Think of the last time that you didn't want to do something, but once you started it, you suddenly felt more willing to continue. So here's the secret. You don't feel motivated before you start, you feel motivated because you have started. It is a pattern. Motivation is the result of your action. It is not the cause of it. You have not started because you're motivated. You are now motivated because you started. So instead of waiting to feel ready, we need to take that small step. And that small step is going to create a little bit of momentum. And then that momentum will slowly build motivation. And this is why we choose discipline. Think of discipline as the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. And that bridge is built one small step at a time, not by feeling inspired, but by gently, calmly, and consistently showing up. So now ask yourself, do I actually need motivation or do I need structure? Because as we said, motivation is a feeling and feelings change all the time, but discipline is a decision. When you wake up in the morning and decide to brush your teeth, do you do it because you're inspired or do you do it because it matters? What if the things that matter to our growth, like our healing, peace, faith, our future, what if we give all of these things the same commitment? So how do we build that discipline? We start with one thing, just one thing, something small, something immediately doable. Instead of saying, I'll go to the gym every day, all you need to do is exercise 10 minutes today. Because the moment that you take that small step, you will start to feel something new. And once you feel that something new is happening in your life, you'll start to feel capable. And that feeling is what we call motivation. So we don't always need to wait for motivation. We can create it. And we have to create it in order to take better care of ourselves. Now, a lot of us think that discipline is being hard on yourself or pushing yourself way too much. Some of us think that discipline means punishment. But if you think that way, you are doing it wrong, because discipline is the love towards yourself that is expressed through consistency. Discipline is choosing to do what is best for you over and over again. It is eating healthy consistently to take care of your body. It is being consistent with your prayers to take care of your soul. It is consistently choosing healthy habits to take care of your mental health. You really don't need to take big steps in order to be disciplined. You just need to remind yourself of all of the times that you showed up for other people just because you loved them. So it's not that you don't have discipline. It's that sometimes we don't believe that we deserve to show ourselves the same love that we show for others. So, in order for us to learn how to show up for ourselves, we really need to be aware of our body. We need to be aware of our needs and our desires and make sure that our actions are matching those needs. If you are not being careful with that, you might end up doing things without any meaning. You might end up not being kind to yourself, pushing yourself way too hard. And this is when burnout happens. And we need to learn about burnout and be aware of it. Because burnout, most of the time, it comes from fear. Fear of disappointing others, fear of not being enough. And when you do that to yourself, you start to be drained. Discipline is not supposed to drain us. Discipline is supposed to energize us and flourish us. So the next time you do that, remind yourself that you don't need to push harder. You need to pause. You need to take a break. Reassess your values, reassess your priorities, and what is it that you truly want. And always remember, motivation does not start the journey. Discipline does. And discipline is not loud. Discipline is not harsh. Discipline is quiet and steady. It is you showing up for yourself over and over again, even on the days where you don't feel like it. That is where the real transformation is going to happen for you. I will not leave you alone in this journey. Of course, I created a free worksheet that will help you reflect on your daily motivation and your discipline. You'll find that worksheet in the shop section of my website if you go to www.fatmatells.com, or you can also click in the description box below to print your worksheet. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's episode. And I really hope that you found it beneficial. And I really hope to find you again in my next episodes.